we should talk about that.
There we go, we got it on, I didn't hear it click. Sometimes I did a whole show once with a friend, but it wasn't
That's
going.
something I would do.
Really, and I felt till this day, I felt bad. This is part 2, the method actor speaks.
Hi.
And we're here, I almost said Marilyn Chambers, but we're with Diane Chambers.
Right.
Not from behind the green door, even though it does look you know.
Oh, but
What's the name of the film you just did?
oh, The Coed and the Zombie Stoner.
Now that's going straight to videos.
It's going to be out June 24th.
Now your friend,
But
what's her
it
name?
was already
She's
in the top 10 of Xbox.
Now, well,
This was
zombies are it's the in thing now.
Oh, yeah. I've been in, oh my gosh, 3 or 4 zombie films.
Really?
now.
Now, how do you get these? I mean, you have an agent that sends you out for this?
My dear agent,
they
bless
just-
his heart, he's let, I get 99.9% of them on my own.
How do you get them on your own?
Through Actors Access,
Oh,
LA
okay.
Casting. Fortunately, I did.
Out of those two, I didn't mean to interrupt. Which one do you find the best? Or are they both even? For parts?
Oh gosh, let's see. Right now, there's nothing out there. I've got to tell you.
Well, it's hiatus, a lot of things.
Yeah,
but
the best thing I did ever last year. I did 4 films for the asylum, and I just blessed their hearts. I did something right, and then I didn't have to audition for 3 of them. So that was.
Oh, it's the same director or the same
It's
company?
the same production company.
Well, that's good because that's what they like.
Yeah.
HBO does that a lot. If you notice, if you watch HBO, it's always the same actors.
Oh, I would love to be. Well, all the TV shows, it's the same people, just playing basically themselves.
Yeah.
It's
It's safe.
It's like who do you have to sleep with to get into that
The
group?
old one, who do you got to blow?
Or who, what is it, the Scientologists or these born again? I mean, what group is it that just seems to be in every single darn thing?
Because it's all package deals today.
Yeah.
I mean, the old days of casting Marion Doherty.
Yeah, those don't happen.
It's gone.
That's why people save your money. Do not go. I know some of you will get angry with me. Do not waste your money on all those casting director workshops. They charge a fortune.
It's a ripoff.
Those casting directors are doing it for the money. There's no such the days where they were big casting directors and they would, cast real TV shows or work for Warner Brothers or the big studios. Those are gone.
Those are gone.
Those are gone.
They really are, because now it's run by corporations.
Right.
And it's all done. And a lot of these people don't realize that the cast, it's illegal. First of all, it's illegal. Mm-hmm. And second, if you go to one of these workshops, SAG, you're not allowed to hire those actors that went there, casting directors.
They don't tell the people that.
I know they don't.
And everybody brags
Because they want you $40 or whatever
oh,
it is.
it's horrible.
And
It's horrible.
it's been going on for a long time. It's one of the biggest rip-offs in this town.
Yeah, and every part, thousands of actors come here every month, and 90% of them are broke and go home.
I know some names. I know some big names that go there because they can't find work. And the other thing is with background work. They have to have these call-in services that they pay like $75 to $100 a month to get work if you want to get work.
But I know, I have friends who do extra work that work more than I do.
Background, they like to be called.
Background, but it's hard. Physically, to me, it's harder.
Well, yeah, because
because you have to
standing around waiting.
Oh, and the weather but so at least when you have lines,
Well, you're treated a lot better. You can go to lay down.
Yeah, you're considered. Yes, exactly.
But background work is rough.
It's very rough.
And there's now today in SAG, that was another thing with the merger. They got the background people scared, and they told them that they were going to get more work. But what they forgot to tell them was that once AFTRA came in, that's more people doing background work.
Everybody knows after anyone can walk off the street and just
join.
pay. When I joined SAG, you couldn't you couldn't be in SAG unless you were in a SAG film,
Right.
and you couldn't do a SAG film unless you were a SAG member. And
Well,
I was
Taft-Hartley.
fortunate enough to do
When did
a
you come in the
couple-
union?
74. I did a
Okay.
couple of films for Roger Corman.
I was gonna say, oh,
Yeah,
what's it
Big
called?
Bad Mama and Capone.
Oh,
with
you
Ben
worked with
Gazzara.
Shelley Winters and Ben Gazzara.
And I worked with a very unknown, very short little guy by the name of Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, he started out in Roger Corman movies. Maybe
Yep.
all your big, a lot of big
Everybody had. Roger Corman has made the careers of so many of the greats.
Yeah.
And I was even in Big Bad Mama. It was
Shelley Winters, Don
wax.
Stroud.
Well, Don Stroud. I met him a couple of times.
He's got one eye now.
Oh no, really?
Well, he got in the bar fight years ago.
That is the same Don Stroud.
Yeah.
I was looking him up because he was so handsome.
Yeah, he
And
really.
his mom was a very famous. Was she a singer or an actress?
Yeah, he tried to
She
tell
was
me that
beautiful.
we did a movie together, Armed and Dangerous, John Candy film, and he was trying to tell me that Shelley Winters was his real mother.
Well,
That's what
he has one claim to fame is Shelley Winters has done 2 of these tell-all books, and he's the only guy
Yeah.
that she claims to have slept with that's in both books.
Yeah. I had both of her books.
No,
I
his
studied
real
it.
mother was an actress or a singer, and she was drop dead gorgeous.
And he was trying to tell me that was his mother.
Oh no, he's got to be pulling your leg.
This was back then, but I studied with Shelley Winters at Actors Studio.
Oh
She
God,
gave me
that was fun.
She gave me the best advice as an actor I ever got.
Yeah.
She told me, "Sit down, John. You're acting." The best
Ah.
advice.
Yeah,
She loved my shows. The show we're doing here.
yeah.
She loved them.
Well, I had a connection. I don't want to use
Hey,
any
babe,
term
Mama, I gotta
starting
see
with
that
a,
again.
starting with
I
an
can
M.
imagine. You must have really looked great in those days.
Oh gosh.
You had long blonde hair. Though?
Oh yeah. Looking back on it, I didn't think I was as. Nobody really told me. You know, my mom had died, and my dad was very anti-acting, and I didn't really think I was all that. I still don't. I'm still like the most insecure, neurotic person you could ever meet.
Most actors are.
But I did meet a very prominent producer, and my friend, this prominent, very, very prominent producer owed him a favor. So I go in and I'm like just literally off the turnip truck from Kalinga, and he said, "What on earth is a nice girl like you doing with a guy like that?" And I said, "Well, Mr. So-and-so, actually, my dad has invested in some racehorses, and this is the job." And he said, "Oh, I see." And he says, "So, you know," he said, "You seem awfully nice." And I said, "You seem," and he said, "My advice to you is to get out of the business." He says, "It's horrible." He said, if my daughter ever said she wanted to be an actress," he said, "I'd break both her legs." But then, like, oh gosh, I had the great privilege of kind of knowing Angie Dickinson back in her heyday when she, oh God, was she gorgeous. And of course, she's very well known for, talk about being naked on the set. I mean, she just,
Yeah, she understood. Yeah.
she had no problem with that. And she was a great lady and lots of fun. And she said, "Diane, you just, no matter what your father says, you just go for it." She goes, "That's why." She was a stenographer as a backup trade.
Really?
She was actually a stenographer in courtrooms, because she said her father, you know, kept telling her, "Don't get in business, and you have to have something to fall back on," and she did. And she, you know, she was just a very down to earth lady. She told me some off-color jokes. She was shooting a film with this was while she was doing Policewoman, so I couldn't figure out why she was doing this film except to kind of help out her co-star who is now a legend, but who at that time had a very prominent TV series, and Captain Kirk from Star Trek. Yeah, and they had a shower
William
scene.
Shatner.
Yeah, they had a shower scene together, and my lips are sealed, Mr. Shatner. I'm not saying a word.
Oh, you really left the audience hanging on that
I'm
one.
sorry, I can't. But Angie apparently has been, oh my gosh, she's been offered, so
But
much money for
I
telephone.
would get an erection if I was in the shower with Angie Dickens. I mean, you're not a man if you don't.
Well, apparently he did, but
Well,
you know that old cliche, size doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Angie felt otherwise. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh God, I can't. Oh, can you X this out?
No, X nothing.
I don't need to make any more enemies. I
Not
don't.
an enemy.
Sometimes I think, I must. I haven't worked so long this year.
It's just amazing that there's so much, when you see these, I mean, how could you not? I was doing a scene at Actors Studio in New York. I was playing Gary Gilmore, and this girl was playing my Nicole, and we were talking, and the audience...
The real Gary Gilmore?
I played...
The serial killer?
Yeah, I was playing him. I do the actual letters that he wrote.
Oh my gosh.
They're on YouTube, a couple of them.
Wow.
And I was doing a scene from that, and I'll never forget, everybody said, I had an erection. I mean, when I have an erection, you know it. So,
lucky girls out there. Sorry.
so, I mean, and I couldn't help it. It's acting. I'm in the moment.
I love it. That's
One of the
so
feedback
cute.
was that, they could discuss this. I wanted to join you two. I said, you should have.
I love that. I love it.
But
that is
so
great.
why wouldn't this happen? I mean, you're in the moment. It's there. You're with a beautiful woman, and you're thinking sex. I mean, give me a break. It's gotta.
Well, my career was unfortunately kind of came to a grinding halt in '78, and I was 79. I was only 28. So then I had all kinds of health issues and problems with the stepmother from hell and the father and all that stuff, and so kind of fast forward 25, 30 years, and here I am, a middle-aged lady, getting back in it, and everything's digital.
Yeah.
And all this stuff, it's like, my God, what happened? So I'm just thankful for anything I can. It's just...
It's really nice that you did get back, and that passion is there.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I mean,
Well, this is why I never got married. This is why I never had children. This was always the love of my life. And when that was taken away from me, I was 89 pounds.
Really?
Oh, so depressed. I won't even go into that. But that's the most unhappy period of my life. And once I was able to pursue this full time and just get back into even doing freebies at first just to get credits, because IMDb won't even go back as far as a certain point. They don't have any records.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So none of the Roger Corman stuff's going to come up.
Well, it should.
Well, no, I have a friend who was a regular on Little House on the Prairie.
That's
They will not put his credits up, and he's trying to revamp his career. So it's really tough on these former child stars. Because like child stars now, I mean, look at those twins. They're like, what do? They go to fashion shows now?
That's what all they do.
Yeah, you know what?
You're talking about the two blondes.
Right, and they make tons and tons of money for that one show they did.
Yeah,
And it's like, and these other poor young people, that they don't have that. I mean, the kind of money that. It's just the same way with our society, that the rich get richer and the poor, there's such a dichotomy now. There's no such thing as the middle class. You can't get graduate from college, get a good job, buy the white picket fence like you could after World War II. Those days are gone, it's horrible.
But as an actor, you chose not to get married? Or
No.
Do you regret that?
No, not at all.
Really?
No, I came close. I had some wonderful, wonderful long-term relationships with men that I just adore to this day. I don't regret ever not having children. When I was growing up, I honestly was never exposed to a happily married couple. And my mother, bless her dear heart, who died when I was quite young, I was just in my early 20s, she said, My
Wow.
revenge will come when you have children of your own. And
You hear that a lot.
oh, she made it sound so horrible. And it was like, thank God I went to college just as the pill was available.
What did
At
you
the
study in college? What did you want to be when you went to college? Besides,
Theater arts.
You,
Oh,
originally?
I started off as a psychology major.
Ah,
And when I told my father I was switching to theater arts, I think he was going to have a heart attack, poor guy.
well,
He was-
I mean,
yeah. My mom was thrilled,
I
but my
like
father.
the idea of the psychology, because that really allows you to look at yourself.
In fact, I wanted to be a criminal psychologist, which nowadays would be like in the BAVU, like in Criminal Minds, a profiler.
Right.
And I know all about all the serial killers. I've read all those, but to me, the
Oh.
criminal mind is fascinating.
So you have read The Executioner song.
Oh yes, in fact, and I had a friend who was in
I
the
do
movie.
the actual letters
Yes.
that he wrote. They have never been done.
Mm-hmm.
I put two of them on. No, one I put one.
Yes.
I did it two ways. It's on YouTube.
A friend of mine was in the
movie?
film version.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yes.
Because,
Yes.
there was an actor, Ed Binns, when it first came out. It was around 1977, 78. Around 78 or 79 it came out. He told me I'm perfect for the part, and I was, but I wasn't known.
Right.
And but I worked on it for over 30 years at Actors Studio.
Wow.
Because as an actor, every time I would do it, I'd find something new.
Yeah. Did you talk to his brother and the
No, but I
family
talked
members?
to.
He was a fascinating guy.
Yeah, his brother was like, not Michael, it was Mikkel or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember Roseanne Arquette, not Rose, her sister, not Roseanne, the other one, the blonde. Oh, we did a movie together.
They're Arquette family.
Yeah, what's her name?
Something
God.
Arquette. Oh,
And then we did Lost Highway together, David Lynch film.
there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Like the Baldwin brothers. There's
Yeah.
a bunch of them. The Arquettes and the Baldwin.
But we had long talks about it,
Uh-huh.
Gary Gilmore and all that.
Oh, yeah, just.
Until this day, I still do it. I'm still doing.
But that's why I don't understand. Now he claimed he wanted to be executed, but for the benefit of society, they should have allowed him to be alive, to be studied, to be interviewed. Same thing with Ted Bundy.
Right.
It's like.
What are you going to get out of studying them?
Well, I don't believe it. Well, first of all, I'm very conservative. I don't believe in abortions, and I don't believe in capital punishment. I don't think any of us have a right to kill anybody. But then again, I must say, nobody I know has been slaughtered or murdered, and I, of course, have never been pregnant, so I really can't speak.
Wow, you're careful, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, I was always on the pill.
Oh,
When,
right.
Forever, and then that really screwed me
It's
up.
funny, you're concerned. I'm concerned, but when it comes to abortion, I don't think a man has any right to say anything, first of all.
Well, I think.
I
I think he does because.
See, I don't want to get into that, but I mean,
yeah.
that's a woman's body, and I believe that's up to her.
Well, it just irks me that there's been a pill out for men for years and years, and the guys will take it.
I never heard of it.
Yeah.
A pill?
Yes.
I never heard of it.
It's just never. The pharmaceutical companies don't produce it because they can't find buyers. No guy wants to go through the bother, I guess. I don't know.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, there really has been. I would not tease you.
I know there's an operation that guys can get.
Oh, guys freak out at the thought of that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would too.
Well, I worked for an OBGYN for several years, and I begged him to tie my tubes, and he refused. He said, no, because when you get older, you're going to change your name. You're going to change your mind.
Then you
And
can't you have them untied?
I said, nope, I will not change my mind. So I always was on the pill, which was great, except for the fact that when I went through menopause, it was horrible. From going from hormones to no hormones. And then I went through menopause part 1, and then menopause part 2.
Did you go see Henry Jaglom's movie, The M Word?
No.
It's about menopause.
Oh gosh, I do a whole comedy act around it.
Great. Well, it's playing in certain theaters. I saw it. Actually, I had one of the guests on, Lorna Richards, she was on, and she was on the show a couple of weeks ago. It's on there.
It's really horrible. I mean, it's a physiological,
For women.
and oh my gosh,
That's off. Let's go back to acting. Now, have you ever?
Well, this is acting. If you see,
Well, what I really want to know is, I mean, have you done nude scenes and this and that, or have you done love scenes where it's very uncomfortable, and how do you approach them?
I did a film I don't think ever got
Because
off
I
the
can
ground.
imagine, you.
I just, God, nobody's really asked me.
In your youth, nobody asked you. When you were doing the Roger Corman films.
Oh
stuff like that.
no! In fact, I was played a prostitute, and I remember they said there's a bump of $500 if anybody wants to go topless, and practically everybody raised their hand but me, and I just kind of I felt a little uncomfortable, and the director, the wonderful Steve Carver, came up to me, and I remember he said, "Diane, you are just as pretty as those girls are. You shouldn't feel self-conscious at all."
Really?
But those, everybody's hands went up, and I was going, "What are they doing?" But no,
So you were like your friend back then.
well, nobody really. I really never had the opportunity. Nobody really asked me.
They did, and you turned it down.
Well, no, I could have gotten a bump.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I was still in the film.
Yeah, but
That
what
just
I'm
means
saying,
you get paid a little more.
Right.
But I didn't need the money. So that's a whole other story about finances and stuff.
Finances.
But,
Yeah. Well, you were fortunate.
I just
back
wish
then.
I would have married well and
Yes.
had at least one kid. Then I would have been set for
Ah,
life.
that's what I was looking
Yeah.
for. Yeah, because
Yeah, I had that up, lots of those.
I would have liked to have tried it. I think. I've never been married either. And,
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if I have any kids. I've never been called to the.
Oh, that's what my father used to say. I only have two that I know of.
Right. They asked me, do you have any children? And I tell them, not that I'm aware of.
Right.
Nobody's come up.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I lived in a village in the '60s. So,
Oh, free love and
Yeah,
oh my
it's-
gosh, right.
I mean, there was so much sex, and it was great.
Did you ever go to a Missoula oil party?
Mozilla Hall?
Like a vegetable oil party, Missoula party? I only heard about them. I don't know if they really existed. Where they
I
would
went
put-
to swing parties, if that's
Oh.
like that.
Well, something like
Plato's
that.
Retreat in New York, and
Oh my gosh. See, I've never been a swinger or any of that stuff.
well,
so.
the women got in for free, but the men had to be with a woman to get in.
Oh wow.
It was a very famous place in the Hotel Insonia
Oh
in
my
New York.
gosh.
And yet they had like little private rooms, and they had a big room where there was like maybe 100 people in there.
Wow.
I found it was a great place to go and, to put it in plain English, you go fuck your brains out.
Imagine.
Really. And then
Yeah.
when you left there, you wanted to make love to somebody.
Yeah. Serious.
Serious. You
Yeah.
wanted to make love after
That you mean the emotional?
emotional, sex.
Yeah.
Where that was just go there and fuck your brains out and do whatever you wanted to do.
Hedonistic.
And it couldn't, I mean, and women loved that. Men. I went to a lot of swing parties. They were very
Wow.
popular. I had just come out of prison when they were going.
What were you in prison for?
Well, I was in there for organized crime, but
They got you on a RICO act?
it was sort of, yeah.
Wow.
But when I came out, so, I was willing to try anything when it came to women.
Oh my gosh.
I remember I went to a party once, and this guy gave his wife 5 guys for her birthday. She wound up with 6 because I jumped in there myself.
Oh my god.
But those are the good, we learned from those days. We got about 5 minutes to go.
Well, I just haven't lived. I feel like I've been in a cocoon next to you.
Well, it's not a cocoon,
You just, I mean, I've really led a sheltered life.
how could you, not being an actor, but, there's none of us, the one thing all those things in life has always freed me to be free. I've never been ashamed. I love being nude or whatever. And I'm, even to this day, I'll do a porn if somebody asks me. I could care less.
And nobody wants anybody my
Yeah,
age
yeah,
now,
yeah.
so
It's
not
we're too
even
old for that.
It's not even an issue.
But I did see one in Japan. There was a guy 85 years old.
Oh my
He was
gosh.
doing the porn. I couldn't believe it. Or 75 he was.
Oh
And
my
he was doing porn
God.
movies.
Oh, they're
There's
porn.
Ron Jeremy, how old is Ron? I just sent word to him. If he
Oh
wants
my,
to
oh, the
share.
guy with the mustache. He is really,
He's
oh,
got to be in his 60s now.
oh my gosh. Has he ever written a book or anything?
Probably.
I've seen him in interview. I also, there's another one that I liked a lot who I saw interviews with. And it shocked me because he said his number one problem is female odor. That he has to tell women to go wash themselves. And you would think that would be the first thing a woman would be conscientious about.
Well, it takes all kinds. Some people like that smell.
But Ron Jeremy was funny.
Yeah.
He always made his characters very funny.
Yeah. Well, because he wasn't really a good-looking guy, right? I mean, and I didn't think he, well.
I don't think people really looked for.
When you said earlier about, Helen Mirren being in Caligula,
Yeah.
I went out with one of the girls in that too. She was Penthouse Pet.
Oh my
Penthouse
God.
Pet, her name was, Lori Wagner. She was in that movie. I went out with her, we dated. And I said, where do you take a Penthouse Pet? I took her to see the Muppet movie.
Oh, how
We
cute.
went to see that.
Oh,
But
how
listen,
sweet.
folks, this has been really a pleasure.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
She shakes my hand.
What a darling. Mwah.
But that's even
So
better.
cute.
All right, this
And
is
you're
part
not, and
two.
you're single, huh?